the starting six for Sweden. And you can hear the applause here at Maple Leaf Gardens for Börje Salming. Many are standing.
Just listen to them. Here they are.
I said many are standing now. Everyone in the building is standing for Börje Salming. He has scored 2 goals and 2 assists in the Canada Cup competition.
Number 11, numéro 11, Tord Lundström.
Tord Lundström, number 11, the 31-year-old veteran of the Swedish national team.
Number 18, numéro 18, Johan Winding.
Number 18, center Juha Widing of Los Angeles Kings.
Numéro 19, Inge Hammarström.
And Inge Hammarström, number 19. In goal tonight is Hardy Ostrom, number 30. And we have the starting lineup for the Swedish national team. And now the introduction of Team Canada. And there's Ostrom. He's played in the 2 previous games. His goals against average 2.50.
In the nets, dans les filets, number 30, numéro 30, Gatien Vachon. En défense, à la défense, number 4, le numéro 4, Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr has been hampered with knee, of course, but he says the knee is fine, but he has a bit of a groin problem, but says he wants to play, and he's getting a standing ovation here at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Le numéro 6, number 6, Denis Potvin.
Dennis Potvin in the starting lineup for Team Canada.
Forwards, number 12, le numéro 12, Lanny McDonald.
Making his initial appearance in the Canada Cup competition, Lanny McDonald of the Toronto Maple Leafs, number 12.
Number 17, le numéro 17, Bill Barber.
There's
number
Bill Barber.
27, numéro 27, Darryl Sittler.
And the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Darryl Sittler. No question about it, a psychological move on behalf of Scotty Bowman, starting Sittler and Lanny McDonald here in Toronto.
Bernie, here in front of the hometown fans, there are 4 Toronto Maple Leafs that are starting, and Salming, Hammarström, Sittler, and McDonald. So there are a lot of familiar faces out there for the fans here in Maple Leaf Gardens.
All the officials are from the United States. The referee is Gordie Lee. The 2 linesmen, Gordie Brosiker and Ken Pearson. The game is underway. Potvin to Orr. Team Canada on the attack down the left side. Potvin clears it into the corner, and going in there after it is Lundström, number 11. Sittler runs into his check. Juha Widing up with the puck. Back to Orr. His shot. And it goes off into the corner. Potvin after it. Potvin tries to get it over to Darryl Sittler. It's knocked down and held against the boards by Bjorn Johansson, number 9 of Sweden.
Well, perhaps Scotty Bowman, with Bobby Clarke not feeling very well, and he's changed here and has Barber playing on the left wing with Sittler and McDonald so that he can get Bill Barber into the lineup. And I think that's a smart move by Scotty.
This afternoon in Montreal, the Soviet Union defeated Finland by a score of 11-3. Playing tonight in Philadelphia, Czechoslovakia and the United States. This face-off to the right of Hardy Ostrom in goal for Sweden. Bob Gainey, number 34, will take this face-off against Anders Hedberg. And from the draw, it's picked up by Mats Walton. Clears it on the right side to Tommy Bergman. He just dumped it out to center, where Potvin to Gainey, and he slaps it along the boards. Sweden on the attack, but Gainey got a piece of it. Hedberg takes a check from Potvin at center ice, and Bobby Orr. Watched by number 17, Ulf Nielsen. And there'll be a penalty to Dennis Potvin, I believe.
Well, the official Gordie Lee is calling it interference. He said that Denny Potvin made no attempt to play the puck. He just moved right into the Swedish player as the puck came out of the Swedish end and making no attempt. Here he is moving. The puck has already gone by him, takes him to the boards, and he's called for the 2 minutes for interference as the puck slides past him into Team Canada's end.
Power play situation for Sweden as Dennis Potvin goes to the penalty box. Face-off is to the left of Rogatien Vachon, just inside the blue line. Daryl Sittler against Alf Nielsen. Bobby Orr takes it, slaps it to center, where Roland Eriksson. He gives it to Tommy Bergman. Into the corner to Walton. Walton in front of his own net. Watched by Team Canada player Savard. Long pass on the left side, and that's Eriksson going after it. Orr beats him, but it's icing. And the face-off will come back into the Swedish zone.
Actually, Walton didn't make a very good play there. If he'd made one half a step more and got it, the puck over the red line before making that pass, even if the pass wasn't on, it wouldn't have been called back into his own zone for icing. And that's one thing, when you have the man advantage, you don't want to take those icing infractions, because the puck does come all the way back into your own zone, and it takes a while to regroup.
Sweden has had 11 power play opportunities in the Canada Cup Series, and they've scored 5 goals. Their percentage slightly more than 45% in the power play situation. 2 of their power play goals have been scored by Börje Salming, but he's not on the ice at this point. Walton on the right side to Anders Hedberg, up to center. On the left side, Alf Nielsen takes the pass, drops it back. Hedberg gets it again. There's a shot, and Bergman let that one fly wide. All the way back into the Swedish zone, and into the corner forward is Tommy Bergman. Feeds it right to Serge Savard. Savard in behind the Swedish goal, lost it, and back comes Sweden. Walton at center ice. Returns the pass on the left side to Eriksson. Roland Eriksson takes it in front, back to the blue line. Walton winds up, hits a skate, deflects wide. Daryl Sittler gets it outside the blue line. Bobby Orr runs into Eriksson. Eriksson just clears it up high and out of play.
Team Canada doing, again, a great job. They haven't been scored against while they've been shorthanded in the tournament so far. Actually, a lot of fans might have been worried about rough play of Team Canada, but actually, to this point in the tournament, Team Canada is the least penalized team, having picked up only 20 minutes, all of the minor penalties in the first 2 games.
Face-off is at the Swedish blue line. Bobby Clark at center for Team Canada, making his first appearance since being injured in the 11-2 victory in Ottawa over Finland. Here's Börje Salming, number 5, a 25-year-old member of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He has scored 2 power play goals in the Canada Cup Series for Sweden. Leads a rush. That pass failed to click to Hammarström, and going after it is Larry Robinson. On the far side, kept in by number 9, Johansson. He's knocked off stride, though, gets the puck again, and it's backhanded by Lapointe out to center ice. Juha Beating, number 18, at his own blue line for Sweden. Watched by Barber and Clark. Beating gives it to Börje Salming. Salming, number 5, up to center ice. In over the Team Canada line. His shot is wide. Comes off the glass. Slapped to center ice. Dennis Potvin. He's checked, gets by number 9, and then Börje Salming takes it away from him. Back comes Sweden. Mahavlich broke it up. Johansson at center, but it's offside at the Swedish blue line. Earlier today, the Soviets defeating Finland 11-3. There's no score here, with 16 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the opening period. There's Bobby Clark at the bench. He's been bothered with that Achilles problem, but he took the pregame skate. They decided to use him tonight. Reggie Leach is not dressed. Ours, Eric Schobert, has it deflected up over the glass and again out of play.
Well, Team Canada it looks like they're forced to, they're going to forecheck the Swedish team. Both Team Canada wingers. Steve Shutt was in there very quick to forecheck, and Guy Lafleur on the far side with Peter Mahavlich backing them up. So it looks like Team Canada is going to go after Team Sweden with 2 men in, trying to do a good job of forechecking in their zone.
Razar, number 22, at center for Sweden against Big Peter Mahavlich. Both teams are at full strength. Puck is dropped. Slapped off the boards in behind the Swedish goal by Steve Shutt. And goaltender Ostrom left it there. Razar had trouble with it. Here's Shutt. Shutt in the corner, checked by Schobert. And they hold it against the boards, knocked loose, and back comes Sweden. Eriksson clears it to center, a race for it. Vikstrom after it, and Potvin beat him. Orr clears it in behind his own goal with Guy Lafleur, number 10, back for it. Canada on the attack, Bobby Orr. Watched there by Lars-Erik Eriksson. Still has it. Orr coming down the right side. Checked by Schober, gets the pass in front, loose puck. And Schutt slapped at it but couldn't reach it. Vikstrom out to center ice to Peter Mahavlich. Orr has it go off his stick, forced to go back inside his own blue line. Bobby Hull's on the ice. Potvin down the left side. In over the line, a long pass on the far side. The on shot. And Ostrom kicks that out. Esposito lets it go. He scores! Phil Esposito. Ostrom went down and it slid between his pads.
Well, Phil Esposito's quick shot from the side of the net. Actually, I believe it hit something, probably the Swedish defender. Here we see the pass to Dion. Dion lets a screamer go. The puck comes off to the side, and we have Esposito quickly on the puck. The shot looks like it hit Bobby Hull on the way out and deflected by the Swedish goaltender.
And that's his 4th goal. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Back at Maple Leaf Gardens, it's Canada 1 and Sweden no score. They've announced on the public address system that Bobby Hull gets credit for the goal.
Yes, actually, the puck did hit Esposito's shot from the side. I thought it did hit something. It hit Bobby Hull's leg as he was coming out of the zone and deflected by Hardy Aston.
Sweden with the puck. Bergman gets it to his own blue line, clears it. Savard knocks it back in. Here's Clark in front. Back to Barber, a shot, and Ostrom stops that as Sittler, number 27, set up Bill Barber. Canada 1 and Sweden no score. As we look at Hardy Ostrom, the 25-year-old goaltender of the Swedish national team. He's a carpenter by trade. He's played the 2 previous games for Sweden. And he's given up 1 goal here in this first period. Daryl Sittler in behind the net, has the puck for Canada right in front. At the point, LaPointe backhands the shot. Barber has it hit him. Up with it, checked by Mats Walden, who clears it along the boards but not out. Cleared now to an open wing after Sittler is checked by Bergman. This is Barber, and Walton takes it away from him. On the far side, LaPointe. His shot in front. Sittler lets it go, and Ostrom stops it. 14 minutes and 57 seconds remain in the opening period. And Canada putting on the power. As we look at Coach Hans Lindberg.
Here's LaPointe shooting. Sittler, quick turnaround shot. Astrom down. Make sure that he kills the rebound as Team Canada were all around the net controlling the play.
Esposito and Juha Viding will take this face-off. Hammerstrom moves into the face-off circle. So they'll do it again. Puck is dropped. Dropped back to Potvin. His shot deflected just in front. Bobby Orr on the far side. Just scoops it behind the net. Boreas Salming, number 5. He runs into Bobby Hull and a shot. Both ball. Esposito in front. And Ahlstrom got a piece of that. Around the board, Bobby Hull. He's checked by Hammerstrom. Dion on the far side. Marcel Dion right in front. Nobody there. And Hammerstrom for Sweden. Up to his own blue line. Tries to flip it over. And Esposito broke that up. Long pass to Juha Viding on the left side. His shot deflected by Bobby Orr. Orr runs into Hammerstrom. Here's Viding in front. A shot, and Vachon stopped it. Another shot. Vachon again stopped that, and Lundstrom let it fly. Bobby Hull has it intercepted by Tord Lundstrom. Into the Canada zone. Canada 1. And Sweden no score. We played exactly 6 minutes in the opening period offside. With the face-off coming directly in front of Ostrom in goal for Sweden, just outside the blue line.
Well, actually, Team Canada's defense were a little lax in clearing the puck. Bobby Orr did have the puck behind his own zone. He tried to move it quickly up the side. He overskated it, and then Dennis Potvin had it in front of the net, but they were a little slow in clearing it, and the Swedish team got a few good opportunities at Team Canada's net, the first of the game.
Gilbert Perreault at center now with Rick Martin and Bob Gainey on the left side. Back comes Sweden. Schober Straight up the middle to the Team Canada line. Over the blue line, a shot. Vachon stops that. Joubert goes after the rebound into the corner. It's out at the blue line, a shot. And it's knocked down, and back comes Canada. Rick Martin. Martin feeds it to Gilbert Perreault. His fakes the shot, dumps it in front. And Sweden comes back with it on the left side with 13 minutes and 25 seconds remaining. In the opening period, Vachon stops that bouncing puck. In behind his own goal. Lapointe has trouble with it. Up with it, Brassard. Got it momentarily. And Canada again losing it. Brassard setting up in front. There's a shot. And that shot from Lars-Erik Eriksson was stopped by Vachon. Guy Lapointe, number 5 for Canada. Long pass, Perreault couldn't reach it. At his own line is Stig Salming, the older brother of Borja. Stig Salming to center ice for Anders Hedberg. In over the line, Lapointe stops him. Savard. Rick Martin at the side of his own net for Canada. It's Canada 1 and Sweden no score. Savard back to Lapointe. Canada in their own zone. Perreault takes it at center. Over the center red line. Into the Swedish zone right in front of the goal. He shot it high. What a move by Gilbert Perreault. Fired it high over the glass. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Back to the live action at Maple Leaf Gardens. It's Canada 1 and Sweden no score. Into the corner, number 20, Hedberg. He's watched by Potvin. Gets it in front. And that deflection just goes wide as Ulf Nielsen was set up. Out to center ice for Canada. Left Fleur. Right onto the stick of Tommy Bergman. Bergman watched by Peter Mahavlich. Sweden in their own zone trying to get something going. Eriksson runs into a check. Mahavlich tries to get it to Guy Lafleur. Had it knocked down and he goes back. Peter Mahavlich, number 20, over the Swedish line, breaking in. Hedberg intercepts that pass. Hedberg, number 20, feeds a pass ahead to Ulf Nielsen, and over the line, there's a shot wide. As that was rifled by Eriksson from the left side. Hedberg feeds it to Eriksson again, going in with Ulf Nielsen. And Potvin ran into Eriksson and knocked him down, and he's getting up slowly. Here's Lafleur's shot, and that one's wide. Eriksson getting up slowly and moving to the bench. Bobby Hull, and that one goes wide of the Swedish goal. Slapped off the boards by number 3, Tommy Bergman to center, where Marcel Dion has it. Dion to Bobby Hull. We've played exactly 9 minutes in the opening period. It's Canada 1 and Sweden no score. Sweden behind their own goal. Number 9, Bjorn Johansson. Esposito breaks up that play. Johansson tries again. At the left, off the boards, a long pass for Lundstrom. He was dumped, and it'll be icing against Sweden.
Well, earlier, just before we had the last face-off, a very, very good move by Gilbert Perreault on Tommy Bergman. Here we see Borja Salming, but Gilbert Perreault put one of his specials on Tommy Bergman. The Swedish defenseman looked at the puck. He turned him inside out and just missed, making the score 2-0. He actually put the puck over the net, and he had Astrom at his mercy.
And we played 9 minutes and 20 seconds here in the opening period. The face-off to the left of Hardy Ostrom. Shots on goal up to this point. Surprisingly enough, Sweden has outshot Canada 9-4. Canada leads 1-0. Juha Viding, long pass to number 5, Borja Salming, and there'll be a penalty as referee Gordy Lee of the United States picked up an infraction inside the Swedish zone. No one has skated over to the penalty boxes yet. There's Eriksson. You mentioned he was getting up slowly after taking a check, and he's at the bench.
Well, here we have Lundstrom and Esposito on high sticks. The Gordy Lee rule. The Swedish player got a little too much elbow into it and gave him the 2-minute penalty, and Team Canada's having their first advantage of the evening.
9 minutes and 30 seconds is the time of the penalty to Lundstrom. And the face-off will be inside the Swedish blue line. You see their bench They have just 2 players out there on the ice right now, and Borje Salming is one. And number 7, Schobert, goes over to talk to referee Gordie Lee.
Well, there we see the Jet, Hedberg. He has to be one of the fastest men in hockey, and you need a fast man when you're out there trying to kill this penalty off.
Canada has had 7 power play advantages and have scored 4 power play goals in the previous 2 games. And on this power play, they have Phil Esposito out there with Bobby Hull. Esposito takes the pass. Marcel Dionne also out there, and Esposito was rattled against the boards by Borje Salming. Down the ice, Lapointe racing forward along with Nielsen. Esposito on the right side going in. Hedberg checking him. Esposito takes it behind the net. And it's number 5, Salming. Lost it to Marcel Dionne. Dionne, number 15 for Canada. Checked by Schobert. At the side, out to Potvin, and Ostrom grabs that.
Well, Team Canada made a very good move there. Phil Esposito and Borje Salming were mixing it up in the crease, trying to create diversion, and we just snuck Denny Potvin down the side. The puck was thrown right across, and he was on his backhand. He didn't get a very strong shot away, but he was in the clear off the side of the net. Here it is, slipping across, and there we see Denny Potvin, who's moved right down from his point position, trying to get the puck up over Astrom. But a good stop and a good move by Denny Potvin, sneaking down the side there to get that good opportunity.
1 minute and 19 seconds remaining in the penalty to Lundstrom of Sweden. 9 minutes and 49 seconds remaining to play in the opening period, and Canada leads Sweden 1-0 with the face-off to the right of Hardy Ostrom, Gilbert Perreault, Bill Barber, Rick Martin, along with Bobby Orr and Dennis Potvin. The power play set up for Team Canada. And in to take the face-off now is Brazar, number 22 for Sweden. Salming out there as well to help kill off the penalty, along with Tommy Bergman and Walton. Again, Barber and Salming skate into the face-off circle. They let it go. Potvin feeds it to Barber on the left side. Barber returns it back. Potvin shot deflected in front, and Ostrom stops that.
Well, here we have the Swedish coach using some of the tactics of Scotty Bowman. He's got an extra defenseman out there killing off the penalty. He's using Walt, Tommy Bergman, Borje Salming, and one forward, Brazar, playing his defensive zone against this Team Canada power play. But this is one thing that Scotty Bowman likes to do, playing with either an extra defenseman or even 4 defensemen, killing off the penalties the odd time.
From the face-off, it's back to Potvin, over to Bobby Orr. Orr, number 4, winds up a shot, deflected in front, it goes wide. Salming clears it off the boards, but not out. Walton slaps at it, and it lands right in the Swedish bench, and coach Hans Lindberg reached over to grab a hold of it. 57 seconds remaining in the penalty to Lundstrom. There you see Lindberg, the coach of the Swedish national team.
He has to be one of the youngest coaches in hockey. He's only 31 years old, and he's doing a very good job with the Swedish national team.
Salming right from the draw, clears it down the ice, and Potvin goes back for it. With 49 seconds remaining in the Swedish penalty, it's Canada 1 and Sweden no score. The Canada goal scored by Hull from Esposito and Dionne at 4:12 of this opening period. Gilbert Perreault going in with Martin, and he was checked by Tommy Bergman. And back comes Sweden. Brazar reached for it, couldn't get it, but has the puck finally at center, gives it to Salming. Salming checked and knocked down by Barber, and the face-off will be on the Team Canada side of center ice.
Actually, on that last rush, Gilbert Perreault put another move on Tommy Bergman. Actually, he was by him, but the puck got stuck in his skates and didn't get right through. Martin was almost able to get an opportunity, but he did put another great move on the Swedish defenseman, but the puck didn't get loose so that he could get a good opportunity.
25 seconds remaining in the penalty. Lafleur is out on the right side. Steve Shutt on the left. Wingers for Peter Mahovlich, Lapointe and Bobby Orr on defense. Hedberg along with Alt Nielsen. Tommy Bergman and Walton for Sweden, attempting to kill off this penalty. And inside their own line, Bergman clears it off the boards, down the ice again. Rogie Vachon. Out of the net, Hedberg falls. Orr has the puck. 8 minutes and 41 seconds remain in the opening period. 8 seconds remaining in the penalty to Lundstrom. In front of his own goal, Lapointe tries to give it to Orr, too far for him, and Team Canada will be called on the icing just as their penalty expires. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Back at Maple Leaf Gardens, 8 minutes, 29 seconds remain in the opening period. Canada 1, Sweden no score. Both teams now at full strength. The face-off to Rogie Vachon's left. Juha Viding against Peter Mahavlich. Shot. Lost it. Here's Salming letting a shot go, and Vachon stops that. LaPointe. He's watched by Lundstrom, gets the puck out to center, but it's knocked down with a high stick, and the face-off will come back to the right of Rogie Vachon. And Vachon playing his third straight game in goal for Team Canada. Reminder, the telecast of this game is presented solely for the interest of our viewers under copyright of Canada Cup of Hockey 76. There's a shot right from the face-off, and Salming, right, that was blocked. Any use of this telecast without the express consent of Canada Cup of Hockey 76 is prohibited.
Well, a great save by Rogie Vachon. Right from the draw, Lundstrom gets the puck back to the point, and that screamer was labeled for the far side. Rogie just got his glove on it, but it was a super stop. That puck could have been in the net tying the hockey game, but Vachon came up with a sparkling save.
Vachon's looking for an early birthday present. It's his 31st birthday tomorrow. Face-off to his right. Guy Lafleur into the face-off circle, but Pete Mahavlich a little anxious on the right side, and they'll do it over again. The two linesmen working the game, Gordy Brosiker and Ken Pierce, both from the United States. The referee as well from the United States, Gordy Lee, as Steve Shutt and Inga Hammerstrom have a little set to there. And right from the draw, back comes Team Canada led by Shutt. Shutt checked by Hammerstrom into the corner, collides with two Swedish players, and down he goes. Lafleur takes a check. Savard, number 18, along the boards, tries to get it into the corner. There'll be a penalty coming up as the puck comes back, and there was a cross-check in front of the Swedish goal. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Steve Shutt in the penalty box for cross-checking at 11:59 of this opening period. So we get an opportunity to see the Swedish power play the first time in this game, and at center, they send out Juha Viding. And guess who's on one of the defensive points? Börje Salming out there with Johansson. Salming in front of his own goal to Inga Hammerstrom, number 19, on the right side. Sweden on the power play. Viding had it go off his skates, and Barber to his own line to Potvin as Team Canada a man short. Bobby Clark, number 16, clears it down the ice where Hammerstrom, or rather Salming has it. Salming in front of his own net. Sweden trails Canada. Canada on a goal by Bobby Hall leads 1-0 with 7 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the opening period. Or had that hit his stick, but it was offside on the left side with Juha Viding racing in. A committee, of course, has been organized to select the outstanding players in each of the Canada Cup games. And the winning player will receive the Carling O'Keefe Award, the Eskimo Carvings, and they'll be presented at the conclusion of tonight's game to the top player on each team. 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining in the penalty to Steve Shutt. Bobby Clark takes that face-off against Ulf Nielsen. Vachon clears it down the ice, and Tommy Bergman first forced to regroup for Sweden. And there's Hedberg, number 20. On this side to Mats Walden, and Sweden having trouble. The tenacious forechecking of Team Canada keeping them hemmed up at the line. Number 12, Eriksson tries to get it in front to Bergman. He's knocked over by Bobby Clark, and it's Orr behind his own net. Orr for Canada, ahead to Barber on the left side. Barber going over the Swedish line, breaking in. Walton has him tied up, and then he runs into Ulf Nielsen. Walton back for Sweden. 42 seconds remaining in the minor penalty as Hedberg into the corner. Hedberg behind the Canada goal in front. Back to the point, a shot. Walton has that one sail over the top of the net. Hedberg off the boards, intended for Ulf Nielsen. Eriksson checked by Orr. Hedberg at the side of the net. Races in front. Here's a shot, and it's stopped. Another pile up in front. Bobby Orr makes sure it doesn't go any further.
Well, there again we see that line of Eriksson, Hedberg, and Ulf Nielsen, very dangerous around the net. Actually, just before that pileup, here we have Hedberg right to the side. He tries to bring the puck around Denny Potvin. They all go down inside the crease except for Nielsen. He's looking for that loose puck coming out. Rogie Vachon dives in with his hand, kills the play, and gets the face-off. But that could have been trouble for Team Canada.
22 seconds remaining in the penalty to Steve Shutt, and we have 6 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the opening period. Back to the line. There's a shot again, deflected in front of the Canada goal. Bob Gainey collided with Stig Salming, but managed to get the puck all the way down the ice. And Sjöberg for Sweden. Number 7 clears it ahead to number 22, Brazar. In over the line, gets set, drops it back. Sjöberg returns it into the corner as Team Canada returns to full strength. Shot is back on the ice. In behind the Canada goal. And it's cleared out. There's a chance for Daryl Sittler. Sittler had it go off his stick, and Stig Salming fed it over to Sjöberg. Brazar, number 22, runs into the Canada player, and they fall. And the puck is underneath Serge Savard, number 18. 5 minutes and 39 seconds remaining in the opening period. Sweden trailing 1-0. That earlier game today played at the Montreal Forum, the Soviet Union defeating Finland 11-3. That's the first victory for the Soviet Union in the tournament. They have a loss and a tie. They tied Sweden 3-3. Both teams at full strength. Esposito had it knocked out, and Salming in turn over. He takes a stiff jolt from Bobby Hull. Gay Lapointe behind his own goal, leaves it there for Hull. Hull winds up, Canada on the move. And over the Swedish line, Hull going in with Esposito and Dion. In behind the net, overskated it, and coming back is Johansson. Johansson tries to get it out to Lundstrom. It was too far for him, and back forward is Savard. Savard behind his own goal for Canada, up on the right side to Esposito. Esposito back to Savard, going in with Hull. Hull takes the pass, and then is checked by Lundstrom. In behind the net, Esposito, tied up by Salming. Johansson goes in to help up and manages to get a face-off.
Well, Bobby Hull was just lying and freewheeling on that last shift. He was very, very nice to watch, and he's been playing that way throughout the whole tournament. He likes that room to wheel with the puck. He's getting the puck deep in his own zone and showing the speed of just a very, very young hockey player, and he's very, very exciting to watch. And the fans here, every time he gets the puck, they just stand up and cheer. There's a hand for him as he goes off the ice.
4 minutes and 53 seconds remain to be played in the opening 20 minutes of play. And Canada on that goal by Bobby Hull, leading 1-0. Daryl Sittler at center now against number 17, Ulf Nilsson, the 26-year-old center of Sweden. And from the draw, Lanny McDonald gets it back to Orr. His shot, and it was wide. Hedberg, watched by Gainey, clears it to an open wing, and Bobby Orr has it at center ice. Ahead to McDonald, going in with Sittler into the corner. Tommy Bergman broke that up. Off the board, Sittler runs into Bergman. Bergman tries to get it out, but it's intercepted by Orr, who gives it in front to Sittler, who in turn lost it to Walton. Walton, number 6 for Sweden, to Tommy Bergman. Bergman ahead to Nilsson. He had it go over his stick, and Gainey just clears it right back in. 4 minutes and 13 seconds remain in the opening period. On the far side is Ulf Nilsson. Ahead to Hedberg. Hedberg racing down with Eriksson. His shot, and Vachon made a good stop there. Into the corner, Hedberg tries to set up Nilsson again. Bobby Orr intercepts. Just dumps it back for Dennis Potvin. Potvin behind his own goal for Canada. 3 minutes and 48 seconds remain. Daryl Sittler on the left side, going in with McDonald, who takes the pass, his shot, and Ostrom stops that. As Sittler set up McDonald, who let one fly.
A very good shot by Lanny McDonald, a very nice play by Daryl Sittler. The puck came out of his own zone, and he really had to take the pass very, very difficult, shoveled it over on his backhand. There's the shot, and Ostrom covering up, but Daryl Sittler had to make a good play to take a pass off his body down to his skates and then shovel that pass on his backhand across to Lanny McDonald. Nice play by Sittler, good shot by Lanny McDonald.
Gilbert Perreault against Brazar of Sweden for this face-off. Both teams are at full strength. Rick Martin goes into the face-off circle. And Sweden in front of their own goal, led by Sjöberg. Sjöberg, number 7, Gilbert Perreault watching him with 3 minutes and 30 seconds remain in the opening period. Guy Lafleur intercepts that pass. Here's Martin in front. And that shot knocked down by Stig Salming as Sweden breaks away. Eriksson in over the line, going in with Stig Salming. gets it again, has it knocked off his stick, and back comes Canada. That pass intended for Perreault failed to click, as Brassard backhands it at the Canada blue line, gets the puck again, shoots it into the corner. Canada, Martin on the left side. He was turned around, and Vikstrom just slaps it off the boards. Guy Lafleur will try now for Canada, watched by Vikstrom. Chaubert's shot is high and over the top of the net. 2 minutes and 47 seconds remain as Canada, Guy Lafleur, races for it against Chaubert. He's hit hard against the board by Chaubert. In front, Gilbert-Perreault failed to reach that pass from Martin. Lafleur had it deflect off Solming's stick up on a play as Dick Solming took Canada player against the board. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Bernie Pascal and Tom Watt back at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Here we have the first of two checks on Guy Lafleur. The first by Chaubert. He took him hard into the boards in front of the Swedish bench, and then Stick Solming right on the other side of the rink gave Guy Lafleur another hard check, and he's taken 2 hard checks in the last shift. But they're good body checks, clean body checks, no penalties.
Shots on goal. Sweden has outshot Canada 14-8 up to this point. The most shots the Team Canada has allowed in a single period. 14-8, the edge on shots favoring Sweden. Lundstrom, checked by Dennis Potvin. The puck goes against the boards, and they hold it there. A mass of players. Team Canada, of course, missing defenseman Jim Watson. And we'd like to say hello to Jim Watson tonight, who's at the Montreal General Hospital.
Well, Denny Potvin came back hard here. It was either an elbow here or the end of a stick. Right back up. Whoops, there we go. Right into Lundstrom, and he was fortunate he didn't get the penalty here. It looked like the elbow getting a little high as they went to the boards. Play becoming a little more aggressive, a little rougher here late in the first period.
Juha Viting and Bobby Clark take the face-off. Potvin, number 6, watched by Hammerstrom and Bobby Orr. Ahead to Clark. Clark coming back for Canada with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the opening period. Sweden broke that play up, and Orr back for it in his own zone. Come on, Orr. Exactly 2 minutes remaining now in the opening period. Orr out to Marcel Dion. Dion coming back for Canada. Intercepted again, and Bobby Clark just clears it back into his own zone as Orr was breaking on the right side. It's Canada 1 and Sweden no score with 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining to be played. Bobby Orr ahead to Potvin. Potvin at his own line for Canada. Ahead to Barber offside as Bobby Clark was over on the right wing side. Sweden in their 2 previous games defeated the United States 5-2, and they tied the Soviets 3-3 as we look up at the backup goaltender for Sweden. Walton has it for Sweden at his own line to Tommy Bergman. Bergman checked by Daryl Sittler, gets the pass intended for Hedberg, but it's all the way back to the Team Canada line. Savard, long pass on the right side for Lanny McDonald, watched by Bergman, takes it behind the net. Bergman squeezes him out of the play. Walton, number 6 for Sweden. In front for number 17, that's Ulf Nilsson. Nilsson has trouble running into Sittler, knocks Sittler down. Nilsson carries on, 57 seconds remaining. Hedberg takes the pass and grabbed by Rogie Vachon. As Hedberg let that one fly.
Well, Hedberg can scoot and he can shoot, and Ulf Nilsson again is the playmaker in that line. Actually, they've made a little bit of a change here. In the previous games, Eriksson had been playing in the middle with Ulf Nilsson, even though he shoots right, playing on the left wing. But Ulf Nilsson has been moved into the center position for tonight's game, and number 12, Roland Eriksson, has been moved to the side.
Lanny McDonald slaps it, but not out. Kept in there by number 3, Tommy Bergman. Canada in their own zone, Bob Gainey. He's watched by Eriksson, gets by him, and regroups for Canada. Gives it to Lapointe. Lapointe checked there by Eriksson with 32 seconds remaining in the opening period. The puck back in the Swedish zone. Ulf Nilsson, checked by Gainey, gives it to Walton. Hedberg will try for Sweden. A pass on the left side. Eriksson's long shot is wide. Hedberg at the blue line. He runs into Gainey with 15 seconds remaining. In behind the net, Lapointe for Canada. Lapointe just scoops it to center ice. Joubert lost control of it momentarily with 5 seconds remaining. Walton off the boards behind his own goal to Joubert. Misses a check from Sittler as the bell goes to end the opening period of play. It's Canada 1 and Sweden no score. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Referee Gordie Lee of the United States drops the puck and the second period is underway. Bobby Orr to Sittler. Sittler feeds it to Barber on the left side and Salming's back forward. It's icing right off the bat after 9 seconds of play. Icing against Team Canada. At the Spectrum tonight, there's a game underway, the Spectrum in Philadelphia, and at the end of the first period, it's a scoreless tie between the USA and Czechoslovakia. We were reading that off the scoreboard here at Maple Leaf Gardens, and you heard the response as the folks here at the Gardens, the capacity crowd, saw the score as we did. A scoreless tie between the United States and the Soviets early in the second period now in Philadelphia. Here it's Canada 1 and Sweden no score. And right from the face-off, a whistle, and they'll do it again. This afternoon at the Montreal Forum, the Soviets defeating Finland 11-3. Beating, and Daryl Sittler will take the face-off again to the left of Rogatien Vachon. Puck is dropped back to the point. Salming shot, and Vachon covers up and gets another face-off to his left.
Well, we see the Swedish center Weeding, who is a member of the Los Angeles King, winning one of the draws here. Team Canada in most of their previous games has controlled the face-off. Let's watch here.
And again, the puck dropped. Dennis Potvin runs into Hammerstrom. Weeding gets it in front, and the shot just deflected off the stick, and Bill Barber comes back. Barber a long shot from outside the blue line. Lanny McDonald carries on. He runs into Johansson. Pile up for the loose puck. And Lundstrom, number 11, is successful in getting a face-off. Gordie Lee of the United States is the referee. Gord Brosiker and Ken Pierce are the two linesmen. Ostrom in goal for Sweden and Vachon for Canada. Both goaltenders making their third starts in the Canada Cup competition. Face-off will be to the left of 25-year-old Ostrom in the Swedish goal. Ready for the face-off, and we have a couple of players inside that circle again. Face-off finally taken, and Bergman, number 3, watched by Perreault, gives it to Walton. Walton, number 6 for Sweden, ahead to number 17. That's Alt Nielsen, too far for him. Goes all down the ice, but through the crease, and the linesman waved off the icing because Vachon could have touched it. And it comes down the other way now, and we have icing immediately against Team Canada.
Well, the fans don't like it, but really it was the right call. The Swedish team iced the puck, but the larger circular crease that we see here superimposed over the rectangular one, the puck did go through the crease, and if the puck goes through the crease, it's not ruled icing. And then from that point, Gainey got the puck and shot it down the ice, and of course Team Canada were called for icing, but the fans didn't like the call by the officials.
We played 53 seconds here in the second period. Canada 1, Sweden no score. Gilbert Perreault gets the face-off. Team Canada leading the game 1-0. Perreault at the right side of his own net. Gets by one check out to his own blue line. Got it by Eriksson. Feeds it to Martin on the left. It's offside at the Swedish blue line. And Gilbert Perreault putting on a couple of brilliant moves.
Well, he certainly can stick handle. He made one move just inside his own blue line, then tucked it between the Swedish player's legs for a second move. He beat two men before throwing it on the side. Unfortunately, Martin had just scooted across the line just inches ahead and was called for the offside. A nice play by Gilbert Perreault.
There's Bobby Hull. He has scored the lone goal in the game, his 4th goal of the Canada Cup competition. Esposito, Hull, Dion. At center, Esposito took that face-off against Brazar, and into the corner for it for Sweden is Stig Salming. Got it out to his own line, intended there for Vikstrom, and he lost it to Bobby Hull. Hull for Canada. In turn runs into Vikstrom, but Larry Robinson over to Marcel Dion. Stig Salming broke that up, clears it to center, and Canada with Larry Robinson ahead to Esposito. Esposito turned around by Stig Salming and gives Salming an elbow. And down goes the Swedish player, Dion. Faked on that shot. In front of backhand, and Esposito had that kicked out by Ostrom. Bobby Hall lets one go. Robinson at the side. And it's intercepted by Brazar, number 22. Gives it to Schaubert. And Sweden trying to get it out. They finally do. Bobby Hall has it at center to Larry Robinson. Watched by Brazar. There's it. No one there to get it. And intercepted by Schaubert. On the left wing side to Lars-Erik Eriksson. Too far for him. And Esposito will try. Esposito to Hall. He overskates the puck. Runs into Vikstrom. Players fall. The puck goes loose. Robinson. Number 23 for Canada. He takes a jolt from Vikstrom. In behind the net. Esposito leaves it there for Orr. Orr runs into Vikstrom. Gets the puck behind his own net for Canada. Watched by number 14, Lars-Erik Eriksson. There's a shot. Brazar at the side tries to get it in front. Intercepted by Bobby Orr. Orr on the right wing to Marcel Dion. Dion breaking up with Esposito and Hull. Off the boards inside the blue line. Dion carries on. It's offside.
Well, the Swedish team were doing a very good job of forechecking Team Canada. Continually, they were having trouble. They were throwing two and even sometimes a third forechecker in. It was very effective against that line, but they have to be careful because this line is dangerous. And when you throw three men in the odd time in forechecking, sometimes you get stung by a quick pass. But Team Canada just came within an ace of getting it out, but each time they were checked and bothered at every step. So the Swedish team are really forechecking very, very hard.
We played 2 minutes and 52 seconds here in the second period. Canada 1, Sweden no score. Guy Lapointe, number 5, has it deflected in off the stick of Peter Mahovlich and backboard is Salming. Salming gets away from Shutt. Mahovlich got a piece of him. Puck comes to center. On the left side, Juha Beating. In over the line, gets by Lafleur. His shot in front. And Lundstrom tried to get to it. Finally slaps at it, hits Mahovlich. Hammerstrom taken against the boards by Savard for a face-off, and Beating there helping out as well.
Juha Beating, we see here, has done a very good job on the face-offs. He's been winning his own percentage of the draws, doing a good job against Team Canada. In the previous games that we mentioned before, Team Canada did an excellent job in winning almost all the face-offs.
Beating against Peter Mahovlich and is taken by Shutt. Shutt for Canada got to the blue line. He was stopped. Hammerstrom in turn was stopped, and back comes Shutt for Canada. Puck is loose at center, finally taken there by Lundstrom. Lundstrom to Borje Salming, number 5 for Sweden. In over the Canada line, right in front of the goal, a shot. Vachon ducked, but it was high and wide. Guy Lafleur. Ahead to Lapointe, intercepted by Johansson, just clears it back in. Steered into the corner by Rogie Vachon. Mahovlich to Lapointe. Canada in their own zone trying to get out. Lundstrom watching Guy Lafleur, who goes behind his own goal and drops it there for Mahovlich. Back to Lafleur. Canada on the attack to their own blue line and open. Peter Mahovlich was shut on the left and Guy Lafleur on the right. Mahovlich is checked and it's cleared down the ice. Lundstrom trying to get it ahead to Ulf Nilsson, and it's offside, icing rather, against Sweden.
Well, actually, Ulf Nilsson was ahead of the puck in the center ice zone. It's going to be brought back just inside the Swedish blue line. Remember, again, in international hockey, that players are allowed to pick up the puck from inside their own zone over the center ice red line, providing they pass the red line after the puck. But Ulf Nilsson was ahead of the red line when he took the puck, and so it was ruled offside and brought back inside the Swedish zone.
I was right the first time. I should have stayed with it. Canada 1 and Sweden no score here in the second period. Bobby Orr clears that puck right on goal, and Ostrom, taking no chances, holds it for the face-off. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Daryl Sittler will take this face-off against Ulf Nilsson. Now they're waved out. We've seen a great deal of players being waved out of that face-off position. And now Barber will move in against Roland Eriksson for Sweden. Lanny McDonald, he's checked. Side of his own goal as Eriksson in turn lost it back to Orr. His shot, he fanned on that. Out for Hedberg. Hedberg racing it on goal. His shot, and Vachon way out to make the save as Hedberg broke away. we have a Team Canada player injured.
Denny Potvin, I believe, Bernie, is down in the corner. He came very, very hard all the way across the ice, trying to pick up Hedberg, who had broken away with the puck. And although Hedberg got the shot away, Denny forced him to a bad angle, made a good play, coming all the way from his far point, turned on the Jets because that's a very fast man he had to catch. Here we get a look of Rogie Vachon just falling on the shot after Hedberg had broken away. But a good play by Hedberg, a very good play by Denny Potvin, showing a lot of legs, getting across there, forcing Hedberg to a bad angle and forcing him to shoot quickly.
We played 4 minutes and 40 seconds in the second period. And a goal by Bobby Hall gives Canada a 1-0 lead. There's the stop by Rogie Vachon coming away out to block down the angle as Hedberg broke right in.
Come on!
Darryl Sittler against Ulf Nielsen for this faceoff. And it's taken by Canada. Lanny McDonald runs into Hedberg. And Sweden up with the puck, cleared to an open wing. Eriksson after it. Hit the linesman on the skates, and it's Walton. Walton for Sweden. Clears it in. Robinson knocks it down with his left glove. Gets the puck again. LaPointe will try this time for Canada. In over the line. Going in with McDonald. And a defensive stop there by Bergman as he had it deflect off him. Right in front. Sittler gets a piece. There's a shot. Sittler's backhand hits the side of the net. And LaPointe. Watched by Bergman. Walton goes in to help out. Finally, Bergman holds it. Walton off the boards, and Robinson couldn't keep it in. Goes down the ice, and this will be called for icing as it crosses the red line. Icing against Sweden.
Well, some very good forechecking by Team Canada again, playing the body of the man in deep in the Swedish end, trying to push them off the puck. Tommy Bergman making a good play too. Very, very strong gentleman on Guy Lapointe behind the net, taking his body, but there are some tough checks inside that Swedish blue line along the boards behind the net.
There's Reggie Leach on the left and Danny Gare, two players with Team Canada not dressed for tonight's game. Leach, of course, the Philadelphia Flyers, and Danny Gare of the Buffalo Sabres. The face-off to the right of Hardy Ostrom, and it's taken by Stig Solming. Gets to his own blue line, helped out by Vikstrom, who in turn lost it. Bobby Hall races into the corner against Chaubert. Hall goes down, and Eriksson. Ahead to number 22, that's Brazar. For Sweden in over the line, watched by Orr, gets it right in front, and the deflection by Chaubert goes wide. Canada on the left side trying to come out, pass too far for Bobby Hall, and it goes down the ice, and the game will be called for icing against Team Canada.
Well, Denny Potvin made a little bit of a mistake there when it broke in over the Team Canada line. He was with Schoberg early, then turned off him again. The pass came across, and Schoberg came within an inch of tipping the puck by Rogie Vachon. But Denny Potvin just turned the opposite way. Here we have the pass. There Potvin just goes to sleep a little bit, not being close enough to Schoberg, and Schoberg easily could have tipped that puck by him to tie the game up.
Well, the response from the crowd in the second period in Philadelphia, it's the United States 4 and the Soviet Union 2 in the second period at the Spectrum. Or rather Czechoslovakia, USA 4, Czechoslovakia 2 in the second period. Ready for the face-off now to the right of Rogie Vachon. Juha Viding against Bill Esposito. And again, they're waved up. We've got 14 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the second period here. And it's Canada 1, Sweden no score. Johansson at his home blue line. And we have an offside call at the Canada line. The United States, after just losing to Team Canada the other night, are leading Czechoslovakia 4-2. That game being played in Philadelphia. Action underway. Puck taken by Johansson on the left side. Number 9 for Sweden. Out it goes to Lundstrom. Lundstrom just clears it into the Team Canada zone. 13 minutes and 41 seconds remain in the second period. Canada 1, Sweden no score. Bobby Hall at his own blue line. Hall's long shot, all wide of the net. Dion races after it, in behind the goal. Dion has trouble getting the pass over. Here's Savard. Makes the shot, goes to the side, right in front, and back to LaPointe. He winds up. Shot, stop, and his shot goes wide. There's a late penalty coming up. Bobby Hull, the penalty against Sweden. There's a shot, and Ostrom got a piece of that. Dion is taken heavily out of the play. Has the puck. Savard runs into his check, and finally a whistle for the penalty against Sweden. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. So a penalty to Johansson, number 9 of Sweden, with 13 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the second period.
Well, here we have Serge Savard. He holds on to the puck, throws it across. Guy Lapointe gets the good shot. The rebound comes out. Bobby Hull trying to get it. Here we have Serge Savard trying to scoop it behind, and it just goes wide of the net. But good action around that Swedish goal. Team Canada really turning it on and drawing a penalty. So they have the man advantage here for the next 2 minutes.
And we played 6 minutes and 57 seconds here in the second period. The fourth penalty of the game. The second to Sweden, and Canada likewise has had 2 minor penalties. Canada 1, Sweden no score. Action underway. Bergman behind his own net, has trouble with it, gets it out to Hedberg, who deflects it down the ice, and Orr is back for it. Orr watched by Ulf Nielsen. Skates behind his own goal for Canada. Canada on the power play. Gilbert Perreault, Guy Lafleur, Rick Martin. Out there along with Orr and Dennis Potvin. Lafleur can't get out of there as Nielsen had him checked. Orr will try. Orr again watched by number 17, Nielsen, who slapped it off as the pass was intended for Gilbert Perreault. Now Orr winds up in front of his own net to his own blue line. Gives it to Perreault. Perreault at center for Canada. Going in with Lafleur. Overskated the puck, got to it again. And here's Borje Salming off the boards and outside the blue line. 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining in the penalty as Bobby Orr has it at the Swedish line. A long pass for Martin, intercepted by Hedberg. Hedberg coming back with Ulf Nielsen. Scooped away by Dennis Potvin. Nielsen has it inside the line. He was stopped. And Canada, Bobby Orr. Turned around by Ulf Nielsen. This time, Guy Lafleur will try with 45 seconds remaining in the Swedish penalty. Lafleur over the center line, over the blue line, drop pass to Perreault, a shot, knocked down by Bergman, and taken by Hedberg ahead to Brassard. Down the ice it goes. 29 seconds remaining in the penalty to Johansson of Sweden. Bobby Orr, Canada on the power play to Rick Martin on the left side. Long shot going in, or fake the shot, going in with Bobby Clark. Comes back to the line, Orr, with 15 seconds remaining on the penalty. Potvin keeps it in, gives it to Martin, goes behind him, and Martin clears it outside the line. Good checking by the Swedish team as Potvin carries it in over the line. A shot. Ostrom holds on for a face-off. Just as the penalty expires, the puck was knocked loose, but the whistle had gone.
Well, what a job the Swedish forwards, Hedberg and Nielsen, did in forechecking Team Canada. Unlike the national, here we have Denny Potvin turning it on, moving right through with a shot on goal. But as we were saying, the Swedish forwards, unlike the National Hockey League, simply turning and picking up their wings when they're short-handed. They come and get you. They go in after you, do a good job forechecking. They're delaying you, trying to keep the puck out of their own zone so they don't have to go into their defensive box early. But their philosophy is we're going to try and keep it in your end as long as we possibly can and eat up that clock. And Nielsen and Hedberg did an excellent job and had Team Canada quite disorganized in their own zone trying to bring it out.
We played 8 minutes and 58 seconds here in the second period, and that shot deflected in front. Lapointe has it again. Lapointe on the far side to Savard. Savard watched by Brassard, takes it up to the blue line and over. Over to Peter Mahovlich, drops it back to Lapointe off the boards, all the way around to the other side, and Vikstrom, number 27, right onto the stick of Barber, and Clark couldn't reach it. Number 7 is Chaubert. Chaubert checked by Clark, forced to go back for it, behind his own goal. 10 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the second period. Back comes Sweden, straight up the middle, Vikstrom. Long shot, Vachon gloves that, drops it to the side, then scoops it over to Barber. Barber intended for Clark, he was checked, and the puck is taken by Vikstrom. Over the line, back to Chaubert. Jobert on the right side. Stig Salming just clears it in. After it is Erickson in front, nobody there. And Bobby Clark has it for Canada to Barber. Barber, number 17. Into the corner, a shot deflected off the pad of Salming, high and out of play. In the first period, Tom Poirier-Salming played 6 minutes and 55 seconds. He's already played 5 minutes and 12 seconds in this period, including the entire penalty against Johansson.
Well, this is one of the questions we have. The ice is getting rather sticky and heavy. It's quite warm in the gardens, and it'll be interesting to see the Swedish team, who are getting a lot of mileage out of a few players, how they are able to take this. We know they're in great condition, but the conditions in the gardens, it's beginning to get very warm and the ice very sticky, and it's very tough to have your legs in that type of an environment.
9 minutes and 57 seconds remaining. Robinson shot, and Ostrom stops that. Phil Esposito got a piece of it, deflects down the ice. Orr and Wheating racing after it, and it's Bobby Orr for Canada. Watched by Lundstrom, intercepted by Johansson. He just clears it into the corner where Robinson goes after it for Canada. Gets by Hammerstrom. Hall brought it in offside. With 9 minutes and 32 seconds remaining, the only scoring play of the game, Bobby Hall from Esposito and Dion at 4:12 of the opening period. Esposito took the shot, and it was deflected off the skate of Bobby Hall past Ostrom. Lundstrom, Hammerstrom, the wingers out there for Juha Wheating. As Canada in their own zone, Bobby Orr leaves it there for Robinson. Robinson, a long lead pass for Hall, failed to click. Robinson carries on, but Hall's inside the blue line on the offside. Those out-of-town scores at the Montreal Forum this afternoon: the Soviets 11, Finland 3, and in the second period, it's the United States 4 and Czechoslovakia 2.
There we have a look at Jake Gador from the CFL.
9 minutes and 20 seconds remaining now in the second period. Both teams are at full strength. Bergman, number 3, for Sweden, watched by Sittler, in front of his own goal. Forced to go back, leaves it there now for Ulf Nilsson. Nilsson had it intercepted. The puck is loose at center. Finally fed to Lanny McDonald. McDonald in on the left side, drops it back, and Gainey just failed to get a stick on that as Hedberg comes back for Sweden. Nilsson lost control of it. Here's McDonald over the line, a shot, and a good stop. The rebound, score! Gainey! Lanny McDonald taking the shot.
Here we have Lanny
getting the rebound.
Lanny McDonald's shot, the rebound comes loose. Sittler takes a whack at it. Gainey moves in and shuts the rebound by Astrom.
This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Time of the goal, 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Bob Gainey from Lanny McDonald and Savard. And two players playing their first game of the Canada Cup Series, Gainey and McDonald, very instrumental in that goal, and it's Canada 2 and Sweden no score. 8 minutes and 49 seconds remaining in the second period. And Bobby Clark will take this face-off against Brassar of Sweden. Lafleur into the face-off circle, goes out and the action is underway. Jobert, number 7. As Sweden now trailing 2-0. The puck comes to center ice. Potvin off the boards, in behind the Swedish net. Ostrom out there, leaves it for Jobert. He gets by Lafleur and tends it ahead there for LeBraton, or rather Erickson, and he couldn't get it, but it was offside at the blue line.
Well, there we have a look at Bobby Clark, who was the recipient of the Lou Marsh Trophy tonight, and I think all young hockey players should take a look at this man. He doesn't have the greatest talent. There are a lot of hockey players that can skate better, shoot better, handle the puck better, but he's a very, very determined athlete.
And there's Clark racing after the puck right from the face-off, but Jobert got there first, scooped it to center. Clark has it again, intercepted, and back comes Vikstrom. Vikstrom for Sweden leads it ahead. Jobert couldn't reach it, and Bobby Orr Canada 2 and Sweden no score with 8 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the second period. Canada with Clark at center. Clark on the right side to Guy Lafleur, tries to get it over. Potvin has it at center ice. In the game, Sweden has outshot Canada 19-17. Two players fall. Barber colliding with Salming, and Stig Salming going into the corner. Lafleur runs into Brazar. Brazar comes up with the puck though. On the left side, intended for Chaubert. He has trouble with it. Pair of 7, Chaubert and Esposito. Lafleur lost it. Here's a chance. Brazar shot wide. Esposito on the left side clears it down the ice, and going back forward is Stig Salming. Sweden on the attack. Up to center ice. In over the opposing line. The shot knocked down by Orr. Orr has it. Head to Bobby Hull. Hull is stopped at the line by Johansson. Esposito carries on. Here's Hull winding up. The shot wide. And Sweden back. Brazar, long pass for Wheating, intercepted by Potvin. Potvin over the Swedish line to Bobby Hull, offside.
Well, you can't give Bobby Hull that much time to shoot the puck. He just wound up and drilled one that was just wide of the net.
This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. 7 minutes and 2 seconds remain in the second period. Canada leading Sweden 2-0. Wheating and Gilbert Perreault, Martin and Bobby Hull out there as well for Canada. Lapointe and Savard on defense. Lundstrom out there with Wheating and Hammerstrom on the forward unit for Sweden. Puck goes back into the Swedish zone. Börje Salming, number 5, takes a check from Martin, gets it over. Bobby Hull was tied up, and Hammerstrom will try it now for Sweden. Straight up the middle, long pass on the right side, in over the line. Scooped in there by Lundstrom. Race for it. Wheating was knocked down. Puck goes loose. And it's Gilbert Perreault. Perreault, a lead pass for Martin. Hull on the left side. Goes up over the glass and out of play.
Well, actually, that looked like a very poor pass, but I'm sure what Martin was trying to do, he just wanted to get that pass very, very slowly over past the defender, off the glass or high off the boards, so that Bobby Hull, who was streaking down that left side, could pick it up a little late. Actually, it was a very good try. It didn't turn out that way, but actually it was meant very, very well, and a pretty smart pass.
Daryl Sittler out there now with Gainey and Lanny McDonald. At center, Ulf Nilsson out there for Sweden. This is number 6, Mats Walton. Over to Tommy Bergman, to center ice to Ulf Nilsson, number 17. The return pass, Sweden trying to get organized. Up to Eriksson, number 12, over the line, runs into Orr. Then just bounces it off the boards. Nilsson gets it back outside the blue line. Here's a race for it. Gainey going in with Walton, and he's upset. No penalty as both players collided going after the puck. Down the ice to Bobby Orr. Orr circling around center, gives it a head, bounces off the stick. Intended for Daryl Sittler, and it goes out of play. Bobby Hull and Bob Gainey have been the goal scorers for Canada. Hull scoring from Esposito and Dion at 4:12.
Here we have Gainey streaking. Actually, he moved in there very, very fast. Walton got back quickly and really upset Gainey, but they were both going for the puck. No penalty called. But I think Gainey was trying to draw the penalty, actually, and moving in there, and well, hopefully he was trying to get the thumb for the Swedish player, but no luck.
Stig Salming has it for Sweden, clears it to center ice, or off the boards. Chaubert ahead to number 14, that's Lars-Erik Eriksson, and Canada, Larry Robinson. Barber on the left side. Long pass for Lafleur, too far for him, races after it. In behind the net, here's Clark. Oh, and he tucks at it at the side. Trying to tuck it in there, but just couldn't get it past goaltender Ostrom.
Bobby Clark a little unhappy that the official blew the whistle rather quickly. That's been the tendency tonight. Gordie Lee hasn't been wasting any time when the puck's along the boards or behind the net. He's been blowing it very fast. But the puck, I don't think, was really tied up, and Bobby Clark, being the type of forechecker he is and working hard to get that puck loose, was not very happy.
Well, the puck was on the mesh, and Gordie Lee, the referee, was on the other side of the net, so he just lost sight of it, Tom, and I'm sure that's why he whistled it down. Lapointe shot knocked down by Brazar, and down the ice it goes. Back forward is Savard of Canada, watched by Eriksson. 5 minutes and 15 seconds remain in the second period. Canada 2 and Sweden 1. Lafleur at center, checked by Brassard, and Sweden will try again. Sjoberg, number 7, has the puck. Sweden in their own zone. Sjoberg has it hit his skate. Guy Lafleur's up with it. Oh, and he intended that pass for Esposito, but it failed to click. Lapointe just steers it off into the corner. Back for it, number 8, Stig Salming. Sjoberg, number 7 for Sweden. As Barber takes a swipe at the Swedish player, number 8, Salming. At center, over the line, number 14 is Eriksson. His shot, and Vachon stops at the rebound. He had to stop as well. Barber ahead to Guy Lafleur, too far for him. And it's Eriksson. Check by Guy Lafleur. Brassard in there as well, and Sjoberg of Sweden, number 7, with 4 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in the second period. Sjoberg for Sweden. Long pass to center ice. Just shot in by Vikström right on, and Vachon stopped it. Lapointe back for Canada. At his own blue line to center ice. Going over the line, clears it to an open wing. Ostrom out of the net, leaving it there for Börje Salming. Runs into Bobby Hull, and the Swedish player gets it outside, and Orr has it at center ice. Orr on the far side to Potvin, deflected off the stick of Bobby Hull, and back for it is Johansson. Sweden having trouble getting out of their own zone here. Some good checking by Canada as Peter Mahovlich ties up Salming, and now Veding, Hull, and Brassard tie it up. Peter Mahovlich out there, Tom, playing right wing.
Yes, that's the second time he's been on the right side this evening. Scotty Bowman mixing up the lines quite a bit, and Peter's a versatile fella. He's played him before in Montreal on the wing and killed penalties, do a number of things. Peter's having a very good series.
3 minutes and 38 seconds remain to be played in the second period, and it's Canada on goals by Gainey and Hull, leading 2-0. Veding and Esposito will take the face-off. Esposito with Peter Mahovlich and Bobby Hull. Orr and Potvin are the defensemen. Lundstrom along with Johansson. The forward unit for Sweden. Orr's shot, and the goaltender got a piece of it and deflected it wide. In behind the goal, held there by Börje Salming, but he couldn't get a whistle. Esposito takes a swipe at it, and down the ice it goes, and it's icing against Sweden with 3 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the second period. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Bernie Pascal and Tom Watt back at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Canada Cup action on CTV with Canada leading Sweden by a score of 2-0. Earlier today, the Soviets defeated Finland 11-3. And the United States leads Czechoslovakia tonight 4-2 in the second period. That game at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Sittler against Ulf Nielsen for this face-off to the right of Ostrom. And from the draw, it goes to Mats Walton. And he'll leave it there, gets it back though. Walton, number 6, right in front to Bergman. Bergman of Sweden coming to center ice, watched by Sittler. Off the boards, and Vachon stops it. Team Canada at the side of their own goal. Up the ice for McDonald, ahead to Sittler. Tries to get it to Gainey, failed, and it goes all the way down the ice. 2 minutes and 52 seconds remain to be played in the second period. And this time Walton will try it for Sweden, ahead to Hedberg. Too far for him. Savard puts it right on the stick of Sittler. Sittler runs in to the Swedish player. Nielsen still has the puck in over the line, right in front. And the Canadian player Gainey is tied up, and there will be a penalty to Sweden.
Well, Bob Gainey was just streaking in there on the left side, and he was dumped. There's no question about it. Gainey's a very strong skater, and in fact, in scoring that second goal, he's not really known as a goal scorer. Last year he had 17 goals, and talking to Scotty Bowman, he said not one of those 17 came on the power play, and he had a very outstanding season with Montreal last year.
There's a look at Doug Fisher from Hockey Canada and a former member of Parliament. Certainly enjoying this game, I'm sure. A penalty to Hedberg. At 17:27 of the second period, Hedberg for interference. And again, we look at the Team Canada power play, and Phil Esposito goes to center between Marcel Dion and Bobby Hull. Orr and Potvin again on defense. Börje Salming will kill off this penalty along with Brassar, Lundstrom, and Tommy Bergman for Sweden. Brassar will take the face-off against Esposito. It's back intended for Orr. He couldn't reach it, and it's cleared down the ice. Potvin right back into his own zone at the side of his own net. Coming back for Canada. Long pass for Esposito. Esposito to Dion. Dion, number 15, sees Hull breaking. Hull takes the pass, backhand shot, and the goaltender got a piece of that. Potvin at the blue line. Into Esposito. He couldn't get turned around, and it's Börje Salming off the glass and up over the glass, out of play.
Very good play by Börje Salming. Rather than trying to ice the puck down the middle and between the defensemen and possibly having the Team Canada defenseman stop it at the point and get a good opportunity, you like to see that puck iced high up along the glass where the opposing defenders on that point have a tough time to keep it inside the blue line. Good play by Börje.
1 minute and 31 seconds remaining in the penalty to Hedberg. Bobby Orr keeps it inside the line, gives it to Dion. He lost it. Orr gets it again over to Potvin. Potvin winds up his shot, and Ostrom gloves that and holds on with 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining in the second period. Canada 2 and Sweden no score. Dennis Potvin, number 6, out there with Bobby Orr, and Esposito, Hull, and Dion remain on the forward unit. Schober will come out now to replace Tommy Bergman, number 3. Bergman goes out. Schober, number 7, veteran defenseman of Sweden. He's appeared in 6 world championships representing his country. From the draw in behind the net, Walton tries to clear it out, runs into Dion. Off the boards, here's Bobby Orr. Orr inside for Esposito. Esposito checked by Börje Salming, gets the puck again. And Schober on the opposite side gets by Hull, and it's cleared but not out. Potvin in for Hull, too far for him. Dion goes in to help out. Dion at the side of the goal, gives it to Esposito. His shot, Hull gets a shot, and it goes through the crease. Off the board, Schober, but he can't get it out. 44 seconds remaining in the penalty. Dion at the side of the Swedish goal, tries to get it in front. High flying puck. Orr has it inside the line. Bobby Orr, number 4, at the side, sees Potvin, gives it to him, intercepted by Lundstrom, and he clears it off the boards down the ice. 57 seconds remaining in the second period. 20 seconds remaining in the minor penalty to Hedberg of Sweden. Hull over the line to Orr. Orr at the side. Watched there by Salming. Gives it back to Dennis Potvin. Intercepted, and Lundstrom clears it down the ice. 5 seconds remaining in Hedberg's penalty. Potvin in front of his own goal for Canada. Up to center ice. Over on the left side, the shot. He's shot, and it's wide. Peter Mahovlich going in after it. Both teams back at full strength with 22 seconds remaining in the period. In front, the outboard!
Well, here we had Peter Mahovlich being very smart, jumping in, taking that puck, making a very good pass to Marcel Dion. Here we have the shot originally from the point. You have Big Peter knock it down. He chases it, moves across, looks right across. Great pass to Dion. Dion shoots quickly behind Astra. But that's the first goal for Dion in the tournament, and he's worked very, very hard throughout the games, and I think deserving of the goal this evening.
Well, the goal scored by Marcel Dion from Peter Mahovlich at 19:40, and it's Canada 3 and Sweden no score. Canada hasn't scored a power play goal on the last 6 advantages after scoring on their first 4 power play opportunities of the series. So if they come through with a goal here. 11 seconds remaining in the second period. Hedberg over the line, knocked out to center. Bergman's back for it. Head now to Walton, back to Bergman with 1 second remaining in the second period, and the bell goes, and the second period is over. Canada leading by a score of 3-0. And this is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. And a reminder, heading into the third period, they use the international clock with 10 minutes, and then change ends and some happy fans from Sweden cheering Sweden on at least. Both gals wearing number 5, of course their favorite player being Börje Salming. Action underway here in the third period. It's Canada 3, Sweden no score. Bobby Orr watched there by Nielsen, and a shot by Lundstrom. Here's Nielsen bringing in a shot, and that went off the side of the net. Oh, and a bouncing puck in front that almost fooled Rogie Vachon. Shutt at center, had it knocked away. Juha Viding gives it to Börje Salming. Salming watched by Steve Shutt. Shutt comes up with the puck in the corner. He's checked by Johansson. Puck goes loose. Johansson lost it. Here's Guy Lafleur right in front, intercepted by Nielsen of Sweden, who just clears it down the ice. And it'll go all the way over the line, and it's icing against Sweden. And Salming has been out there 6 minutes and 55 seconds in the first period. He played 9 minutes and 22 seconds in the second period, as our statistician Ron Andrews points out. So that's a lot of hockey for Börje Salming.
Both coaches changing very quickly here in the third, realizing that it is getting warm and their troops are getting a little tired. Changing after 40 seconds, not letting them out there too long.
Ready for the face-off now. Alt Nielsen, they didn't do it fairly. And again, having problem in that face-off circle, so they'll try again. Both teams are at full strength. Bobby Hull, Bob Gainey, and Marcel Dion have been the goal scorers for Canada. Here's Savard at the line. Hedberg checks him, and Canada forced to regroup out to center ice. Nielsen checking Savard. The puck goes into the corner, and after it now is Walton, as Sweden will try to get something organized. In behind his own goal for Sweden. That was LeBreton, clear to an open wing, and down the ice it goes. Hedberg couldn't control it. Vachon comes out, steers it right onto the stick of Alt Nielsen. And Canada will try to get out again, and down the ice it goes, right on goal though, and Ostrom forced to make the stop. Tommy Bergman, number 3 for Sweden, watched by Lanny McDonald, gets it in front. LeBreton out there now for the first time of the game here in the third period. LeBreton, number 21 for Sweden, clears it in way offside.
Again, we have a change of players, 40 seconds again. The troops, fresh troops coming over the boards, making sure that each of the teams doesn't get caught out there too long. The Swedish team trying to get back in the hockey game. Team Canada making sure that the shift doesn't go too long and someone gets caught in a bad defensive position.
Well, we played 1 minute and 34 seconds here in the third period. Face-off directly in front of Vachon outside the blue line. Sittler, or rather that's Phil Esposito, moving out to center now with Dion and Bobby Hull. Razar, number 22 for Sweden, out there with Eriksson on the left side, and number 27, Vikstrom, the right winger. Canada, Robinson at his own line, watched by Vikstrom, gets by him, up to Esposito. Esposito just clears it over the blue line, runs into Stig Salming, and again they get that face-off. Canada leading Sweden 3-0. Sweden in their 2 previous games defeated the United States 5-2, and then tied the Soviets 3-3. Canada has defeated Finland 11-2 and then defeated the United States 4-2. Bobby Orr's shot knocked down by Eriksson. Orr keeps it in though, and this time it's Sjöberg. Sjöberg coming back for Sweden, in over the line, watched by Esposito. On the side it's shot, and Vachon stops that as Stig Salming let it fly.
Sjöberg making a very good play, moving in there rather quickly, made a quick little turn, a rink-wide pass. Stig Salming was just able to keep the puck inside the blue line and got the opportunity of Rogie Vachon, but a good little move by Sjöberg. Here he has it, moving it right across. Stig Salming keeping it just inside the blue line. Quick shot on Rogie, he handles it, and then kills it for the draw when Team Canada's not back first to pick up the puck.
2 minutes and 2 seconds have been played in the third period. Esposito will take this face-off against Viding to the left of Vachon. Right from the draw comes to Savard. Savard off the boards, intended for Dion, intercepted by Lundstrom. Lundstrom has it, number 11 for Sweden, and he lost it. Marcel Dion back for Canada. In over the line, Dion right in front, and he had it knocked off his stick. Back comes Viding the other way. Viding for Sweden, drops it back, intended there for number 5, Börje Salming. He couldn't get to it though, and Canada tries to get out. Salming knocks it down. Nielsen. And had it knocked off his stick, and Borje Salming backboard in his own territory. On the far side to Lundstrom, intercepted by Bobby Hull, but then Salming got it again, ties up Dion. Off the boards, Johansson on the backhand pass, can't get it out. Will try again, runs into Hull, the puck goes loose, Lundstrom. Off the boards, checked by Savard and Dion, but gets it. Lundstrom a long pass to Beatty. In over the line, his shot, and stopped by Vachon. Esposito. Off the boards to Marcel Dion. Ahead now to Lapointe. Lapointe coming back for Canada, going in with Bobby Hull. Takes it to the side of the net, right in front. Salming checks him, and the puck comes to no one really in front of the net. Salming will try again for Sweden. Successful in getting it outside the line, Savard. Savard at center for Canada. Head to Bobby Orr. Orr right in on goal. A shot, and Ostrom stops that. As Orr broke in, Savard. Delayed penalty coming up to Sweden. Salming touches the puck, and the whistle goes, and there's a penalty. Tripping, I believe, to Sweden.
Well, Bobby Orr likes to do that. He likes to move right in quickly.
This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Back to the live action at Maple Leaf Gardens. Borje Salming in the penalty box, and again we get an opportunity to look at the Team Canada power play. Rick Martin the shot, and Ostrom grabs that. Rick Martin's out there with Bill Barber, Gilbert Perreault, Potvin, and Bobby Orr. Canada leading Sweden 3-0. 16 minutes and 21 seconds remain to be played in the third period. Right in front of the goal, Martin back to Orr. He can't reach it, and he's forced to go back right into his own zone. 1 minute and 47 seconds remaining in the penalty to Borje Salming. Orr drops it back for Dennis Potvin at his own blue line, watched by Ulf Nielsen. Long pass, Orr takes it right in on goal. Shot, Ostrom stops that, and Martin was right at the side but couldn't reach it. Here's Barber's shot, wide and high over the top of the net. Potvin over to the corner. Barber keeps it in for Canada. Into Gilbert Perreault, in front to Martin. He couldn't reach it, and back comes Sweden. Ulf Nielsen lost it. Barber for Canada keeps it in. Barber trying to give it to Dennis Potvin, and Walton intercepts and clears it down the ice. Hedberg going in against Orr. His shot hits Orr, and Orr felt that. Gilbert of Sweden has it on this side to Anders Hedberg. Hedberg back to Nielsen. Nielsen over the line. Orr back. Orr takes him out of the play. Potvin behind his own goal with 47 seconds remaining. In the penalty, back comes Canada. Martin's over the line, gets set, his shot, oh, and Ostrom stopped that. Nielsen, number 17 at the side, off the boards and down the ice. 32 seconds remaining in the minor penalty to Salming, his first penalty of the Canada Cup Series. Canada 3, Sweden no score. Back comes Lapointe at center. In over the line for Lafleur. Gilbert slaps it down the ice. 15 seconds remaining. Salming standing up, ready to return to action. Canada on the power play, led by Savard. Over to Guy Lafleur at center. Lafleur clears it in, knocked off the stick of Brassard. And Canada forced to regroup as Salming steps out of the penalty box, has the puck. Sweden successfully killing off that penalty. Gilbert on the far side to Lundstrom. He just clears it in. Salming racing in after it. He collides and is knocked down as Savard hit him. Steve Shutt for Canada, checked by Salming, and we get a whistle. 4 minutes and 5 seconds remain in the first 10-minute session of the third period. And Canada on goals by Bobby Hull, Bob Gainey, and Marcel Dion, leading 3-0.
Cheers. There's Carl. Carl Holman, an interested onlooker here at the game this evening, and he's all the way from Denmark, and I'm sure a lot of the fans here would like to be sipping some of his wares at this time.
Face off to the left of Rogie Vachon, Juha Viding, and Peter Mahovlich, all set for the draw. Back to the line. Here's Salming slapping at it, and it's deflected high and again out of play. Individual shot totals in the first two periods. Borje Salming, Hedberg, and Bobby Hull each had 4 shots as we look at Carl Vadnais, and he's got the tie undone. All smiles. Carl Vadnais watching the action with his teammates leading Sweden 3-0. Must be warm on the ice at this point. Savard, number 18 for Canada, inside his own line, gives it to Lapointe, runs into Lundstrom, and here's Johansson. He just clears it in. 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first 10-minute session. Here in the third period is Peter Mahovlich, watched by Lundstrom, then gets by Nielsen, gets the puck again, scoops it out where Johansson has it at center. Gives it to Borje Salming, who in return just clears it to an open side. A race for it, intercepted by Schutt. Schutt is dumped. Mahovlich carries on. Inside the line to Guy Lafleur. Lafleur right on goal. Ostrom makes the stop. Leaves it there for Borje Salming as Schutt collides with Johansson in front. Back comes Sweden, intercepted by Mahovlich. In over the line, going in with Lafleur. He overskates it as he was checked. Waiting is speared. Off the puck, there'll be a penalty. And Veding is hurt as he goes over to the Swedish bench. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV. Guy Lafleur in the penalty box. 2 minutes for spearing.
Well, it was, I guess, a little bit of a spear. Actually, it was a little bit more of a slash from Guy Lafleur than it was a spear, and it didn't look all that serious. He was given the 2-minute minor for spearing. However, I thought he was just slashing at his hand there, trying to move him off the puck. Here we are again. Watch Guy Lafleur's stick. Here we have Wheating coming around. There he moves to the stick, trying to get at his hands to keep it off. Just gives him a little slap at the hands. Didn't look all that serious, but he picked up a 10-minute misconduct. He must have questioned Gordie Lee too vociferously, as well as his 2-minute minor for spearing.
Juha Veding still being treated on the far side as we look at Lanny McDonald in the penalty box to serve the minor as Guy Lafleur picks up an additional 10-minute misconduct.
Perhaps the Swedish player was trying to pick up the major penalty for a deliberate attempt to injure on the spear, because that would mean that they would have a man advantage for 5 minutes at this point, and that might be very important in the hockey game when they're down 3-0 rather than just a 2-minute minor.
Well, we have 3 minutes and 1 second remaining in the first 10-minute session here at Maple Leaf Gardens. Canada 3 and Sweden no score. Sweden on the power play situation now, led by Nielsen. Number 17 up to center, over the line into Anders Hedberg, watched by Bobby Orr. Orr with the puck. He's checked by Nielsen. Gets it but not out. Salming keeps it in off the boards to Nielsen. Nielsen trying to get it in front to Hedberg. Salming again keeps it in. Over to Sjoberg. Sjoberg, number 7. He's the captain of the Swedish team. Fakes a shot. Passes again. Gets the puck. Sjoberg, watched by Bobby Clark. In front. There's a chance for Hedberg, but the pass failed to materialize. Number 21, LeBreton. After the puck with Orr. Taken there by Nielsen. Back to the point to Sjoberg. Sjoberg winds up his shot. Vachon stops it. The rebound goes wide. Clark out to center ice, and the puck sails back into the Swedish zone. Borje Salming. 58 seconds remaining in the minor penalty. 1 minute and 56 seconds remaining in the first 10-minute session as Salming comes back for Sweden. Clears it in. It's Dennis Potvin. Off the boards. Not out. Salming on the far side to Sjoberg, watched by Barber. Back into the corner in front. Here's a chance for Hedberg. Couldn't get a shot away. Daryl Sittler clears it down the ice with 33 seconds remaining in the penalty. Sjoberg for Sweden behind his own goal. Sweden on the attack, coming up LeBreton. A long pass, and it'll be into the zone, waved off, no icing, taken by Canada. Lapointe off the boards, down the ice. Ostrom out. Leaves it there with 14 seconds remaining. Lanny McDonald will return to the ice, but Lafleur will remain in the penalty box, of course, serving his misconduct. Lapointe at his own blue line. 5 seconds remaining in the penalty. Off the boards it goes, and Sweden going back for it with Bergman as McDonald steps on the ice, and both teams back at full strength. 55 seconds remaining in the first 10-minute session of the third period. Bergman, long pass for Lundstrom, too far for him. Lapointe back for it. Lapointe of Canada on the left side, taken by Bob Gainey. Runs into Brassard, and he gets a little help there from Savard. Cleared out, and going back for it is Walton. Walton trying to set up Lundstrom, intercepted. Daryl Sittler over the line was stopped, and Brassard, number 22 for Sweden. Sweden trailing here. Sittler stealing the puck in front. Shot! Oh, another shot! And Ostrom stops that as McDonald and Sittler combine.
Well, one thing that the fans may not realize is that I think Scotty Bowman made a very smart move in asking Lanny McDonald to serve the 2-minute minor for Lafleur. He had two right wingers in there because he knew when he had to substitute. Here we have Sittler moving right in, making the pass in front, the good shot. There's the rebound, just fails to tip it under Astrom, which could have been the fourth Team Canada goal. But a very good play on the pass by Sittler and on the rebound again by Sittler.
We have a score from the Spectrum in Philadelphia in the third period. It's the USA 4 and Czechoslovakia 4. The Czechs have come back to tie it up. Czechoslovakia 4, the USA 4 in the third period in Philadelphia. Here it's Canada 3, Sweden no score, with 13 seconds remaining in the first 10-minute session. Savard backhands the puck. Esposito helps him up, and it's Stig Solming to Schober. Schober with 3 seconds showing on the clock. On this side, Sweden in their own zone. There goes the bell. And we have 10 minutes remaining in the hockey game. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV.
Right from behind the net, the quick shot. Here we have Sittler just trying to tip it by him. Astrom comes across the net, and he just fails to slip it underneath him for the fourth Team Canada goal.
We're into the final 10 minutes of the game. Canada 3, Sweden no score. Up with the puck. Larry Robinson in over the line. Here's a chance. Oh, Sittler let that one go. And I believe goaltender Ostrom got a piece of that. Or to Gainey, and Gainey clears it into the corner. Right in front. Here's a chance. Gainey shoots. He scores!
Well, Bob Gainey's not supposed to be a goal scorer, but he comes up with the second goal of the evening. A very, very quick shot. The puck goes loose behind the net. It's thrown to Gainey in the slot. He's got quite a bit of time to shoot, and the puck cleanly beats Astrom for Team Canada to go ahead 4-0. But Bob Gainey coming up, he was supposed to be added to this lineup for his defensive strength tonight, and although he has been playing well defensively, he comes up with a second goal.
And the time of the goal, 10:26 here in the third period. Bob Gainey putting Canada ahead 4-0. Reminder, the overall outstanding player of each team in the Canada Cup Series will each receive a Toyota Celica GT, and that presentation will be made during the best-of-3 final. Gainey from Robinson and Orr at 10:26. Canada 4 and Sweden no score. Solming inside his own blue line as Sweden trail 4-0. Marcel Dion has it at center. He has scored one of the Canada goals tonight. Drops it for Bobby Hull. He couldn't control it. And Canada coming out. Lundstrom had it momentarily. Feeds it out again to number 16 over the line. And that's Alberg. Alberg was stopped as Canada defensively. Lapointe scooping the puck away. And down the ice it goes. 8 minutes and 58 seconds remain to be played in the third period.
Alberg is out here at center taking Ua Wheating's spot after the spearing penalty that was charged to Guy Lafleur on the check on Wheating, and we see Wheating at the end of the bench, and it looks like he may be finished for the evening with Alberg taking his place in the pivot.
Mentioning the misconduct penalty to Guy Lafleur, it's the second misconduct of the series. You'll recall Mike Milbury of the United States picked up a misconduct in the first game against Sweden. Face off to the right of Rogie Vachon. Canada 4, Sweden no score. Lundstrom raced in to get it, but Bobby Orr beats him to it. Alberg chases Orr, but it's Bill Barber on the left side. To Perreault, knocked down by Johansson, right back into Canada's own. Bobby Orr, right at the side of the net, watched by Nielsen, gets it to Barber. Orr goes over to help up, comes up with the puck. Orr again with 8 minutes and 33 seconds remaining in the third period and the game. Canada 4, Sweden 0. Perreault of the Buffalo Sabres to Orr. A long pass, knocked down. Solming at his own blue line for Sweden. To Lundstrom. Lundstrom coming back along with Eriksson. Eriksson takes the pass at the side, checked by Orr. Gets it in front, no one there to tap it home, and Barber ahead to Rick Martin. Back now for Johansson, over to Salming. Salming returns it back, and Johansson had trouble with it. On the left side, checked by Perreault, but Lundstrom carries on, feeds it on the right side. Here's Vikstrom in front, and Orr intercepts. Orr, a long pass for Barber, a race for it. Salming beats Barber to it with 7 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the game. Vikstrom back for Sweden down the right side and over the line, winds up, gets set for a shot. Oh, and it goes wide. Salming keeps it inside the blue line. Puts it right on the stick, though, and number 14, Eriksson, fighting with LaPointe for it. Scramble for it in the corner in the Canada zone. LaPointe's up with it. LaPointe on the right side over the boards and out of play with 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the game as we look at Guy LaPointe of Team Canada.
Well, rightly so. Daryl Sittler getting an assist on the last Team Canada goal. He did a lot of work behind the net, threw it to Gainey in the slot. Gainey's quick shot hit the goal, but he deserved the assist.
And out there for Team Canada now, Phil Esposito will take this face-off against Lars-Erik Eriksson of Sweden. LaPointe, number 5. He's checked there by Eriksson, and they get another face-off. Future games in the Canada Cup Series on Thursday night. Sweden will play Finland, and that game will be played in Winnipeg at the Winnipeg Arena. Also on Thursday night, the Soviets will play the USA in Philadelphia. And at the Montreal Forum on Thursday night, Canada against Czechoslovakia, and that game will be televised by CTV across Canada. LaPointe to Steve Shutt. Shutt runs into Vikstrom. Vikstrom has the puck. He in turn is checked, and now Shutt comes back. Canada on the left side, led by Steve Shutt. A long shot into the corner. Peter Mohavlich up against Razar, and back comes Schober. Schober for Sweden over the line. Gets by one player, takes it into the corner, finally stops, and back comes Potvin, but he has trouble with it. Vikstrom at the side, and Esposito checks him. Esposito back for Canada. Up to the center red line, going in with Shutt and Mohavlich. Watched there by Salming, right in front, and Ostrom stopped that. Vikstrom for Sweden, clears it into the corner. A race for it. Potvin and Brazar go after it. Potvin's there, turns. Pass to Peter Mohavlich. He couldn't control it. And now for Sweden, Dan LeBraten. Sweden trailing 4-0 with 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the third period. On the far side, Alf Nielsen gives it to LeBraten, number 21 of Sweden. Being checked in their own zone, can't get out. Tommy Bergman ahead to Anders Hedberg. A long pass. Here's LeBraten trying to get through the defense. Lost the puck. Back to the point. Bergman's shot knocked down by Robinson, who's given a jolt, and Sittler stopped by Hedberg. He's having trouble. He goes right into the boards. Sweden with the puck. Alf Nielsen on the far side of LeBraten. Hedberg got a piece of it, and Bergman goes back to center. 5 minutes and 36 seconds remain in the third period. This is Mats Walton, checked by Bob Gainey. Into the corner, Tommy Bergman for Sweden. Can't get it out, McDonald's shot high. And that goes sailing over the glass as Sweden tried everything but couldn't get away from the tight checking of Team Canada.
Well, actually, there were quite a few good checks in that shift. Here we have Sittler, after taking a hard check, putting a good check on the Swedish defenseman deep in their own zone, and it actually enabled a shot to get away quickly that Astrom had to save. But there were quite a few good checks, one by Hedberg on Sittler, but then Sittler coming right back and forechecking very, very hard himself.
Gilbert Perreault at center with Martin and Barber on the left side. Robinson and Orr out there for Team Canada defensively. Juha Viding will take, or rather that's Mats Ahlberg out there at center now for Sweden. The puck goes down the ice. Vachon leaves it there for Robinson. 5 minutes and 13 seconds remain. Perreault to Martin. Too far for him. And back for it, Johansson. clears it to center ice to Alberg, right on goal, as Vachon makes the stop and leaves it for Bobby Orr. Orr in turn back to Perreault. Perreault gets by Mats Alberg, gets the puck again, coming over the opposing blue line, in with Rick Martin. Gets a clearing pass to an open wing, and Borje Salming checked, but gets the pass away to Nielsen. Nielsen, number 15, down the right side, back for Salming. He's checked by Martin, and back comes Barber, but the puck hit Perreault. Lundstrom, number 11, there'll be a penalty as Barber had his stick high. Barber's a little upset as the two linesmen, Rossiker and Pierce, go in to direct him to the penalty box with 4 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the game. This is Canada Cup 76 on CTV.
Well, here we have some tight checking. Barber and Salming go to the boards. Here's Borje Salming picking it up. Barber takes him to the boards. The stick gets a little high. Salming actually comes back with a little bit of a high stick, gives him a tap on the noggin too, but Barber's the one that gets the thumb.
Time of the penalty, 15:28 of the game here in the third period. 4 minutes and 32 seconds remain to be played in the game. LaPointe, number 5 for Canada. It's Canada 4 and Sweden no score. After it is Sjoberg as he gets it from Ostrom, the goaltender. Sjoberg, number 7, leaves it for Ulf Nielsen. Nielsen runs into a check as Bob Gainey had him tied up. Gainey has scored 2 goals for Canada tonight. Back comes Sweden, led by Nielsen to center ice to Sjoberg. Sjoberg, a pass to Borje Salming, checked by Sittler. Lundstrom carries on. Salming is knocked off stride. Sjoberg into the corner with LaPointe. Up with the puck, gets it back, and Salming panned on that shot as Bob Gainey. And Salming race for the puck, and Salming is sent flying into the boards. Sjoberg for Sweden, ahead to Lundstrom. Lundstrom to the Canada line and over. Intercepted by Esposito. 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining in the penalty to Barber. And we have 3 minutes and 36 seconds remaining in the game. Lundstrom ran into his check, and Sjoberg for Sweden at his own blue line to Anders Hedberg. Hedberg back for Sweden over the line, going in with Nielsen. Had trouble with the puck, and it's taken back by Daryl Sittler with Esposito on the left. Long drop pass for LaPointe, a pass in front, intercepted, and Lundstrom comes back to Hedberg. Hedberg for Sweden down the right side. Savard is back, Lundstrom breaking in, and Savard gets in front of that shot. Ulf Nielsen knocked it out, intercepted by Esposito. Esposito in with Sittler. Shot stopped by Ostrom. Sittler into the corner after the puck. Salming watching him. And he takes it all the way back, Bobby Orr, with 15 seconds remaining in the penalty and 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the game. Barber is ready to return to the ice with 6 seconds now remaining in his penalty. LeBreton clears the pass to an open wing, Dennis Potvin. And the penalty is over. Barber's back on the ice, and both teams at full strength. LeBreton runs into Larry Robinson. Razar, number 22 for Sweden, clears it back to Johansson. He's checked by Lanny McDonald, and they go down.
Well, Lanny McDonald again, he was inserted in the lineup for a little more defense, and he's doing a good job in there, doing some great forechecking, very hard checks, moving the Swedish team off the puck, then forcing the draw inside the Swedish team's zone.
2 minutes and 14 seconds remain in the game. Canada 4 and Sweden no score. Bob Gainey has scored 2 goals. Marcel Dion and Bobby Hall the others. Rogie Vachon on the eve of his 31st birthday. In goal for Canada. This is Sjoberg coming back for Sweden up the middle. In over the Canada line. Can't get it passed over. It's intercepted, and Robinson. He lost it. Potvin off the boards, kept in by Salming. 1 minute and 57 seconds left. It comes outside the line, Sjoberg. He gives it to Brassard, number 22, to Borje Salming. Salming watched by Peter Mohavlich and Robinson. Robinson scoops it away. He's knocked down by Salming. And Sjoberg, right in front of his own goal, gives it to Salming. He didn't see the pass, forced to go back for it. Mohavlich runs into him. Loose puck comes on the left wing side. Eriksson tries to get to it. Finally succeeds in over the Canada line. Eriksson at the side, checked by Orr, and Potvins there to pick up the puck. 1 minute and 23 seconds remaining now as Robinson has it for Canada. At center, going over the Sweden line, gets by one check, off into the corner, runs into Salming. Puck comes in front, Mahovlich slaps at it, but it goes wide. Schulberg, number 7 for Sweden. 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining in the game. Hedberg up the left wing side with LeBrotten, just clears it in. Vachon out of the net, leaves it there for Lapointe. Down the ice, Canada on the attack. Gilbert Perreault going in with Dion. Carried on by Lapointe, overskated it though. And it's back now to Salming. 45 seconds remaining. Canada 4, Sweden no score. Cleared to an open wing, hits the linesman, carried on though. Here's Alberg in over the line, checked by Savard right in front. Alberg goes after it, Perreault turns him around. Here's Nielsen. Nielsen back, oh, and that's a good defensive play by Marcel Dion as Johansson couldn't reach it. 25 seconds remaining. And Savard back behind his own goal for Canada. Canada 4, Sweden nothing. 15 seconds remaining. Marcel Dion is checked. Here's a chance for Sweden at the side. Lundstrom gets set, a backhander, and Savard had it hit his skate. Rick Martin with 5 seconds. Long shot down, right on goal. Oscar makes the save as the bell goes, and the game is over. This is the first shutout by an NHL or WHA team in international competition, with Canada defeating Sweden by a score of 4-0.
Well, Rogie Vachon did a very good job. His teammates are out mobbing him. Team Canada did what they wanted to do. They wanted to cut down on the goals against, play a little tighter. They had very worthy opponents in the Swedes tonight, but you can't do any better than that. No goals against.
And out of town, a final score just flashed up there. The United States and Czechoslovakia playing to a 4-4 tie at the Spectrum in Philadelphia tonight. And there you see Team Canada, led by Rogie Vachon, and now the national anthem. Defeating Sweden here at Maple Leaf Gardens tonight by a score of 4-0. And we have the presentations coming up now for the outstanding players in tonight's game to receive the beautiful Eskimo carvings. And the two gentlemen making the presentations tonight will be Roger Jackson, Olympic gold medalist in rowing, and also well-known hockey coach and hockey player in the Toronto Maple Leaf organization, Joe Primo.
One of the greatest players in Toronto Maple Leafs history, gentleman Joe Primo.
Well, there's Joe Primo, a great player and a great coach. In fact, he's the only man that ever coached the Stanley Cup champion, an Allen Cup winning team, and a Memorial Cup winning team. The only man in history, a great coach and a great hockey player.
Of course, St. Michael's juniors and seniors and the Toronto Maple Leafs are the teams.
The Olympic gold medal winner in 1964 in rowing, Roger Jackson.
Former Olympic gold medalist in rowing, Roger Jackson makes his way out to center ice to join Joe Primo to make the presentations to the top individual players of the game.
The outstanding Swede player, le joueur initiative de l'équipe de la Suède, number 7, le numéro 7, Lars Brickström.
Number 7, Schulberg, Lars-Erik Schulberg, the top player for Sweden tonight. And he did play an outstanding game.
Yes, he lugged the puck very, very well, threw some very tough checks, one very tough one on Daryl Sittler. but he's the captain. He's one of the leaders on that club. Played a very outstanding game this evening.
The outstanding player of Team Canada. Le numéro 34, number 34, Bob Gainey.
Bob Gainey, the outstanding individual for Canada tonight. He had 2 of the 4 goals.
What a hockey player this guy is. He was a first-round draft choice just 2 years ago. A young hockey player, added supposedly for his defensive prowess tonight, but they shut out the Swedish team. He plays a good defensive game and chips in with 2 goals. How can you do better than that?
This is Canada Cup 76 on
Ladies and
CTV.
gentlemen, we would like to thank